What is up, everyone? This is Rancer SSF4, or Rancer for short. Today is June the 7th, 2013, and I would like to do a special vlog video or update video for you today. And this is actually a special one, actually, because there's a lot of things that's going to happen this month that I'm going to be doing in that. And I think some of you might appreciate this. And here's why I say, and here's also why I say it's very big. Next week, starting on June 11th to June 13th, is E3 week. That's right. Next week, from June 11th to June 13th, is going to be E3 week. Hinking that. I'm sorry, I just got a little burp coming. Anyways, next E3 week is going to be possibly the biggest E3 week in probably in years, I believe, or the last 6 to 7 years. Because in this E3 week is going to be, this E3 week will be the biggest because of two reasons. Number one, Microsoft talking about more information of their Xbox One console and the games for it, which I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of people aren't really excited for that because of the huge controversy alongside the console. Like, I even made a rant for you to explain my thoughts about it. Plus, there's been more information recently that has been confirmed of what the system could show off in that. And I'll be quite honest, I still think the Xbox One's going to fail. Unless maybe Microsoft saves themselves at E3, then maybe there's still hope. But to me, I think it's going to fail. But the reason why I think it's going to be a big year for the E3 is because of Sony, actually. Because at this year's E3, they mentioned back in their conference back in February that they're finally going to reveal the PS4 console at their E3 conference. And it's going to be exciting for me because I can't wait to see what the PS4 looks like. And who knows? If there are maybe some games on launch that are good when it comes out this year, or maybe some games in the future, like in the next year or so, I'll probably go buy a PS4 console. Because I'll be honest, I actually do feel positive about the PS4, or just like I felt positive about the Wii U. I do think the PS4 is going to be the best console this generation. On that, true, it's focused on a few features that some people don't care about, but they actually learned the lesson from the PS3, because I'll give you a little quick rundown of the history of the PS3. When the PS3 came out about a year after the Xbox 360 came out, people thought that the PS3 might be the next big PlayStation console, just like the previous two were. But what actually happened was that they focused a lot on features that a lot of people didn't really give a care about because they already had that stuff like Bluetooth and so forth. And sure, they focused on games, but the one thing that made the PS3 the second best console of this generation of consoles was because that the PS3's hardware was inferior to the 360, because that it made it more harder for developers to make games for it. And so because of that, a lot of third parties support that they once had before, or pretty much moved on to the 360 because it had hardware that made it easier to make games for it, and that it was also similar to PC games, or CPU or something like that. I mean, after all, Microsoft also made computers as well, and so I think it would be obvious that they would go there because their hardware is very similar to their computers. Isn't that? But from the way I've seen it at their conference back in February, they learned their lesson. They made a hardware that's way better than the Xbox One for what reports are saying. And the fact that the PS4's hardware is now designed to make it more easier to make games for it. So now they're getting a ton of more third-party developers to make games for the console. And I think that's a good thing for Sony, actually, even though, and I know this may sound weird despite the fact that I'm a Nintendo fan, though. I still am a fan of Nintendo. But to be fair, when I was young, I did like Sony, actually, because of the PS2. I really liked the PS2 console a little bit more than the GameCube. I hate to say that, but I liked the PS2 more than the GameCube, just a little bit, though. Because it had way more bigger library games and stuff like that. So I'm excited for Sony's press conference in that. I can't wait to see what the PS4 looks like in that. And then I'll give you guys my thoughts on the whole conference and what did they discuss and stuff like that. And I will cover the Xbox One stuff, but I'll be quite honest, I think most of the information that were discussed at the conference and by report might be the same thing, but who knows. And also during E3 week, I'm also going to be covering the Nintendo Direct videos that's going to be happening through E3 week. The first one is going to come out on, I think they said either June 10th or no, I think they said June 11th is when the first one comes out. And what they're going to show in there is going to be information to the new 3D Mario game, new Mario Kart, and finally, a trailer or footage of the next Smash Bros. Sequel. Oh yeah, I am even more pumped up now. We get to finally see a trailer of the Smash Bros. Sequel, Smash Bros. 4, finally. And I think they're definitely going to announce the release dates of the other games now. Since now they're finally coming to E3. Well, actually they're not holding a major press conference for E3, but they're still going to attend E3 somehow, you know? Plus, there are going to be more trailers of more games coming for the Wii U that are going to appear throughout E3 week and that. And so it'll be pretty interesting to see, though. It will be very interesting to see what games they can show us. True, they might show us the same games that they've showed us the past few times and that stuff. But keep in mind, there were some games they announced that are coming to Wii U, but there wasn't that much information for the games. Here's an example. Yarn Yoshi. They announced this back in their January Direct video. That it's in development though, but they still have to experiment with the game more to find out. You also got the new Zelda game, but a lot of people don't really know what the actual game looks like, despite the demo version back in the E3 2010 experience in there. Wait, was it the... No, I think it was E3 2011. No, it was actually the E3 2011 demo, not the E3 2010 one. Sorry, I got that a little mixed up. And they also announced, they even mentioned that Retro Studios, which is a partnered game company owned by Nintendo, is actually making a Wii U game for the console. And a lot of us don't really know what it is because they said, all they told us was that Retro Studios is making a new Wii U game. And some people, and there's this rumor going on now. Some people think maybe it's Metroid. Some people think, oh, maybe they're going to return to Star Fox, or maybe it's another Donkey Kong game. Who knows? It could be any game in that. Who knows? Maybe it's a new original game or something like that from the games. So and I do think that this E3 will be pretty interesting for Nintendo too, because even though they're not holding a press conference, I do think some of the games they're going to release in that, I think are going to be pretty interesting. True, and like I said, true, they already revealed these games for the past few months, yet again, giving us more information and stuff. But I'll be quite honest, I actually do feel positive about this year. I think this year, in my opinion, might be a good year for the Wii U because of all the lineup of games coming for it. The game's got quite a lot of third-party games in that, a lot of first-party, and a lot of Wii U exclusives coming to the Wii U this year. So I'll be honest, I think I'm feeling, just like the PS4, I'm feeling positive about this. I think this might be a good year for the Wii U by far. And that's pretty much E3 week. So like I said, I'm going to cover the Sony press conference, and maybe I'll cover the Xbox One, Microsoft conference, but I'll have to see though. And I'm definitely going to be covering the Nintendo news related to that. So I am going to write it down in notes though. So what I'm going to do is that by the time E3 week ends, I'm going to start uploading a vlog video, and I have a feeling that it will be long. So I think I'll make it a two-parter or so, just to let people know. Okay. Also, the next thing I'll also be doing during E3 week, while I'm uploading videos, while watching E3 stuff, I'm going to be uploading another Injustice online matches for next week. It's just like my previous week of, but I decided to change the title of it. I decided to change the title of my videos or my week of Injustice because, I'll be quite honest, even though I like Maximilian's idea, I don't want to be entirely copycat. That's why I just want to do it differently a little bit, okay? But next week, I'm going to be doing Injustice, whose ranked matches for Superman. And some people might be wondering, like, why am I doing Superman? Well, the thing is that later this week not later this week, sorry. Next week on June 14th, the new Superman movie comes out on Friday, June 14th, called The Man of Steel. And I think it would be a great idea to play Superman in Injustice in honor of the upcoming film in that. So I think maybe a lot of people might be interested in seeing that, so I'm going to be doing that. And it's just going to be in honor of the upcoming film in that. And I'm actually excited for the Man of Steel movie, actually. And maybe what I'll do is that after I watch the Man of Steel, maybe I'll go see him on launch day with my dad or whatever, and maybe I'll do a review of the game, review of the movie, so that I might give you my thoughts of the film, actually, and what do I think of it overall. And the last and final thing, I want to check the time just a quick sec here. I just want to see. Holy Christ, I actually mentioned all that stuff in the 10 minutes. Holy shit. Anyways, the last thing I'm going to be doing this month is on June 20th, there's going to be the new Super Luigi U DLC for New Super Mario Bros. U. Now some of you might be asking, what's New Super Luigi U? Well, basically New Super Luigi U is pretty much New Super Mario Bros. U, but it's mostly stars as Luigi, and Mario's completely left out of the DLC for good. Actually, the reason why it's called that is mainly because that this year marks the 30th anniversary of Luigi in that, and this year they say it's the year of Luigi, so I think it would be neat though. And I'll be quite honest, I think there are some people who don't really give a care about this, because like all they were doing is just rehashing the same gameplay and just make a few changes, isn't that? But to be quite honest, I'm actually excited for it. I mean, I do like New Super Mario Bros. U and that. I definitely like the game a lot on that. And all that pretty much changed, to be honest, is that Luigi is the star now of the game in that. They're along with a couple Toads, and plus the fact that you can also play as that purple thief guy from the original version, or the original game. In that. And what's interesting in what they say is that when you play as the purple guy, he doesn't die, he doesn't get hit, nothing happens to him. He can just survive in that. That pretty much throughout the entire game without even dying. So I'm assuming that's like the boost mode or something like that, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to do that really, to be honest. And another thing they also made changes to it is that they pretty much show off the same world map, but they also said that each level is way different than the one in the original version, and they're much harder for the game, and they actually designed Luigi to play exactly just like what he used to play, being like before, like, you know, the really higher jump and the weird floaty jump where he goes like I can't really display an example, but basically it's like that. Like he jumps and then go like a floating jump. It's very similar to Yoshi. Let's put it that way. It's very similar to Yoshi. Now, plus the courses are much more harder than that of the original game in that, so that pretty much adds challenge. And I also want to point out something about the game, actually. I want to point out. When it comes out on June 20th, there's going to be an update version of the game in that, or pretty much a patch or whatever. Well, the first one is that instead of going to the eShop to download the DLC, you can just go to the main game itself, like just put in the disc of your New Super Mario Bros. U game, and then right in the game you can find the DLC in that. You just enter it, and then you can download the DLC right from the game instead of going to eShop. And the second thing, which is one thing that a lot of people wanted it to be in the original version, which they honestly were disappointed about, was you can actually use the Pro Controller now to play the game now. And I think that's good, because I'll be quite honest, I think that's what they should have done in the first place, because they released a second alternate controller for the Wii U and that, mostly for the hardcore style games. And I think they should start doing this for their future games, actually, for their first party games. Let you use the Pro Controller. That way if people don't like using the motion controls or don't like using the gamepad, they can use the alternate control scheme for the Pro Controller to play like an actual hardcore style game. I think Nintendo should start doing that a bit, okay? And so I'm extremely excited, and I do want to point out something though to you guys who traded into Super Mario Bros. U and you thought, oh, there's a DLC coming out for this game? Fuck, I didn't know this. Shit, yeah, what do I do now? I can't just go back and buy the $60 to play the game and just wait. But here's the thing though. Nintendo announced in their May Direct video, back in May actually, that they're going to be re-releasing the DLC as a separate game actually, as a retail disc version on August 22nd this year actually. And it's actually pretty cool looking actually. It's a green covered box art. It's green, and to represent the color Luigi, and it looks pretty cool actually in my opinion. It looks pretty neat. But that's just for those who traded in the game though. Like in case you trade in the game you want to get the DLC badly, don't worry. Don't worry. There's going to be retail version of the game for only $30, and you can just go buy it in there for 22nd. But the only problem about though, however, you gotta wait for a couple months though though, and that's the only negative thing about this for the retail version, is that you have to wait a couple months though. So I'm sorry for those who have to wait though, but if you still own the game, you'll be able to play it in the next 2 weeks. Alright, so that is my update video for June 7th, 2013. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on for the next couple weeks. Like I said, I'll be covering E3 a bit by discussing my thoughts about E3 overall and the Nintendo stuff. I'm also going to upload some videos of Injustice ranked matches for Superman in honor of the Man of Steel movie coming out next Friday. And I'm also going to be doing the new Super Luigi U DLC. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. I'm also going to be seeing Pixar's Monsters University on June 21st, and I'm also going to be doing a movie review of the movie actually. So, thanks for watching, people. I'll be uploading. Shit, I forgot what I was say. Sorry. Yeah, so thanks for watching again. I'll be covering E3 week. I'll be doing an Injustice ranked matches for Superman in honor of the movie coming out, and possibly a review of the movie. There's also the Super Luigi U DLC, and Monsters University review. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.